Hi, welcome to coffee+connect. I'm here with Brandy, who apparently doesn't want to sit with me. She and Ben see something outside that is much more interesting than hanging out with me. So, yeah, thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. If you are a frequent visitor to my channel, then you probably realize that I have been kind of slowing down with the videos. I did not do a video last week. I also did not do a podcast last week. I have been going through some changes. It's really kind of a redirect, so I just needed some downtime last week to, I don't want to say integrate, I just really needed a break. I just needed a break. I am going to do a podcast this week, and it is going to be about the redirect. So if you're really intrigued and want to find out what is going on with me, if you've noticed it in the collective, if you have kind of felt like you're the only one that's like feeling kind of this weird shift that has been big and subtle at the same time. I don't know if that even makes sense. Then definitely follow me on Instagram at theconnectionjunkie. I will go into more detail, and in true universe fashion, the week before I did a podcast that was titled, the episode was titled, I Can Still Eat Cheetos and Be Woke as Fuck. And so the universe, in all her humor, brought me this redirect and said, actually, sweetie, you can't eat Cheetos anymore. So I've had a lot of physical health stuff going on, a lot of dietary changes going on, energetic mindset, like lots of things just changing and going on. So yeah, I wanted to do a pick a card reading because if you've been following the astrology, there is so much stuff that's retrograde. I can't even keep up anymore. In June, which is like right around the corner, we have a full moon eclipse on the 5th. I believe it's in Sagittarius, but like I said, I can't keep up. And that opens, or that ushers us into this like eclipse portal that we are coming into. Summer is eclipse season. I believe that we're gonna have 3 eclipses this summer. Don't quote me on that, but during the month of June, we are also coming into our 2nd Mercury retrograde of the year. So just there's lots of things going on, lots of things are shifting. People are kind of, energetically, it feels like emotionally, maybe even physically, there's like a lot of, it feels like kind of chaos, you know, where there's a lot of concern about should we be going out, you know, yes, states are reopening, but is it safe to go out and eat? Is it safe to go shopping? Is it worth it to go out? And then, you know, there's kind of this other side of it that is like, it's summer and I gotta get out there. I'm stir crazy, I've been locked in the house, and I definitely have been feeling it. I have my days where I'm like, I just want to go to Ross and I just want to wander around and buy things I don't need. And then 5 minutes later it passes and I'm like, I don't want to get off my couch though. I don't want to, you know, I don't really want to, you know, be around a bunch of people because I'm so used to not being around a lot of people, and it's been really nice. Then there's other times that, you know, I wear a mask at work, and then, you know, I go out and go grocery shopping and I don't wear a mask. So just kind of, you know, just this kind of flip-flopping, like what are we doing? What's okay? What's not okay? If you've been watching the news, there's a lot of turmoil in our society, a lot of violence. And I personally have been really hesitant to kind of talk about it in social media. And I have seen a lot of what I call the anti-racism declarations, which, we're all on our own journey, and, we each have a voice, and how we choose to use that voice is up to us. But full disclosure, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. And to me, I feel like, really in here, it's not my place to say anything. It is my place, just me, just Kathy. It is my place to listen now. And, part of that is because I don't know what to do. I don't. And I think that a lot of us don't know what to do, and we want to do something, but there's just so many things going on that it's like, where do we start? Because in my personal opinion, this isn't such a granular issue. Like, in my personal opinion, this is really about the fact that we live in a culture that has systemic racism and sexism and inequality ingrained into it. And I feel like I had talked about this a lot last year in December, with, I want to say it was like Saturn and Pluto being in Capricorn. Old structures were going to fall away. Pluto is the destroyer. Saturn is, divine timing, and like the kind of, in my opinion, like the planetary father, like the strict father. And the foundation that our society was built on, this foundation of systemic inequality, racism, sexism, division, us versus them, this very otherness that we categorize people who aren't the same as us, don't believe the same as us, don't say the same things that we do, don't look like us, whatever parameters we use to distinguish otherness. Like, that's this cracked foundation that our home has been built on. And, I think I talked about this a lot last December. We've been patching this house with a cracked foundation. We've kind of been trying to shore up, the floor that's sloping down and make it even, and trying to like patch the stairs and like fix the windows and redo the roofing, just to make it livable, because we're just trying to put these band-aids on things. But it's like, really, like, if you have a house with like a bad enough foundation, it's not safe to live in, and it's gonna start to fall apart faster than you can patch it. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. And yeah, I just felt the need to share that, because I've seen a lot of things on social media about, like what people should do, that this is the right way and this is not the right way, and to write to Congress people and to do this and take action. And I think we are being called to sit with ourselves and decide what is the appropriate course of action that we are being called to engage in, because it is not my place to tell you that it is your time to listen, and it is not your time to speak. But it is my place to listen to my inner guidance, that it's my time to listen and not necessarily my time to speak. So with that, we'll move on to what you're here for, which is partially the cats. I don't know where Ben is. He's taking a nap. It is very, very hot here today. And I think it's just making everybody kind of lazy. So there's not going to be any, well, there's going to be some cat napping on screen and off screen, but I don't think Ben's going to make a guest appearance with us today, and that's okay. So I have pulled 3 sets of cards. They are from the Happy Tarot and the Wild Offering Oracle. So if you just want to take a couple minutes and figure out which reading you want, reading 1, reading 2, or reading 3, as always, you are welcome to listen to all of the readings if you would like to. I would love if you would connect with me over the readings. Usually I wait till the end of the video to ask you to connect to me. But as I mentioned, I'm on Instagram at theconnectionjunkie. You can comment on the video here. You can email me at theconnectionjunkie@gmail.com. And just let me know what you think. You know, how are you guys doing? What's on your mind? What's going on? Are the planets totally flipping your world upside down, or what? Are you excited for Mercury retrograde? I'm trying to break. This morning I pulled the Devil card and 10 of Swords and a surrender card that said surrender negative thinking. I pulled that card 3 days in a row. And so the Devil card just kind of was like, hey, this is your vice, that you go to worst case situation first. And you really should stop doing that, because if we look at your track record, even when things are bad, everything works out fine, because everything is okay. Everything's always okay. And I'm like, ugh, all right. So I'm really like trying to catch myself, which I'm doing a great job of catching myself, shifting away from, you know, that negative thinking. It's a little bit of a struggle, because honestly, my initial reaction is, oh, Mercury retrograde, and like, oh, it's gonna be in my 7th house. If you are curious about where any of the transits are gonna be in your house and you would like me to do a video on that, I'm more than open to doing it. Just drop me a little comment and let me know. So back to the readings. Card reading 1, 2, or 3. Go ahead and pick whichever one you would like, and then we will get started. Okay. Okay, so card reading number 1. I haven't looked at these yet, so we will see. Oh, these are good. Okay, I say that every time. I'm like, oh, these are good. So got 3 cards for you from the Happy Tarot, and the first one is the Judgment card. So look at these little naked people. They're the cutest. I can't remember if they're naked in the traditional tarot. Anyway, Judgment card. So you are, if you picked card reading number 1, you are being called, reawakened, reinvigorated, brought back to life. I feel like there's been, apparently you're having a shift too. Your energy's coming back, like you're feeling a little bit more positive, a little bit more motivated. In the traditional tarot, this card is a little bit ominous. Kind of, it reminds me, the people coming out of it kind of remind me of zombies, which I don't know if they're supposed to, or if I just like watch too much TV. Probably the TV thing. But when we look at this card, everyone is just celebrating. Even these little people in the background. I just love these little naked people. They are so cute. I'm so weird. But yeah, this is just a really positive, like, shift. Like, you're coming into just this kind of reawakening. It feels like you're coming out of hibernation. So if quarantine was a little bit tricky for you and you felt like really drained, tired, blah, you're definitely coming out of that. I mean, we are in Gemini season. You know, Gemini is very spontaneous, fun, intellectual, communicative, go with the flow, air sign. So yeah, this is your first card, the Judgment card. It is number 20. Numerology 2 + 0 is 2. So this card of duality. Might be a card of like partnership, relationships, like one-on-one relationships. But yeah, this is a really positive card. 2 is also a number in numerology that is about kind of intentional, gosh, how do I say this? Not intentional growth, but like intentional continuation in travel. Like 1 is a very foundational year where we're really thinking about, this is exactly what I want, these are the intentions I'm setting forth. And 2 is about kind of traveling on that path of the intentions that you've set. And so if you had some big intentions for 2020, like a lot of us had, this might be that reawakening for you to be able to kind of get back into that energy of like, okay, I want to do these things. These are my goals, and really figuring out a way to draw those things in for yourself despite all the changes that have happened. So the next card that I have for you is the 7 of Pentacles. And so this card is really just about, is it 7? It is, okay. This card is about just admiring and taking stock of all the work that you've done. Like when we look at this card, he's leaning on his little rake, and he's just really admiring this bush, these things that he's planted, all this work that he's put in. So, you're being called to take stock of things right now, to really just have some gratitude for yourself. Look how far you've come. Look how well you've done. And I don't mean like, well, you've done like, you did a great job of like not spending all your money during quarantine, which is important, but this card really feels more like something energetic. Pentacles are about money, but this feels more like kind of giving yourself credit for making it through some really hard things that you didn't have a choice in dealing with, and when we have our choice taken away, it can make us feel really powerless. And so we can either, kind of fall into this victim role of like complaining and whining and I hate this and it's not fair and poor me, or we can move into a place of like acceptance, understanding that like this is for our best growth and that eventually there will be something that happens that we can get our power back. So I feel like that's where you are, like just really taking stock of like, I made it through this crazy thing. Gosh, like it makes me think of parents that are homeschooling that have never homeschooled before until the quarantine. Like if you haven't ripped all your hair out, you still have some semblance of sanity. Please take stock of that. You're doing amazing. So the third card that I have for you is the 10 of Wands. And so this card is just about, being aware of what you're carrying. Like this guy's got all the candy sticks and he's carrying all of them and he can't even see where he's going. Where are you going, buddy? You don't know. Like you're just trying to do everything. And this card just reminds us like we don't have to do everything. We're not being called to do everything, So this could be a good time to evaluate, maybe you wanted to do all the things in 2020, but this is really a time to evaluate like what's really worth your time and energy and what's not, because you aren't going to get very far carrying everything. So maybe pick out 2-3 things that you really would like to do those things, come back, get a couple more, do those, come back and get the last few that you have left. So the oracle card that I've picked for you is gratitude. And it says, find just one thing that you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm, like the warmth of the sun. And so I feel like that really resonates with this 7 of Pentacles, really taking stock of like everything that you've been through and just having some gratitude for yourself for making it through that, because this doesn't feel like it was easy. And yeah, just have some gratitude for yourself. So that was card reading number 1. If you chose card reading number 2, the first card I have for you is the Ace of Pentacles, which is always a great card because it's literally about, money, time, energy coming to us. As we can see, this ace in the traditional tarot, it's a hand that's like reaching out of the sky, with this little cloud. He's got his hands up and he's literally delivering this pentacle. So there is some extra time, money, energy, resources that are coming to you, which is that's always good. You can always use more of any or all of those. The next card I have for you is Temperance. And so I feel like these two paired together, you know, you're being brought something with Temperance. Temperance is very much about reevaluation, intentional reevaluation, and a rebalancing. You know, so just like she's got these two cups and she's pouring, you know, a little into one and she'll pour a little bit into the other, you know, to kind of temper these things. Like if you haven't found a balance in how you manage your time, energy, money, this extra that's coming in is coming with the lesson of having to balance and having to learn how to rebalance things. You know, so this isn't coming in for you to splurge. Like, this is coming in to be integrated. The third card that I have for you is the Queen of Cups, which is I just feel like it's such a, Queen of Cups is just such a good card. So, you know, this is very like feminine energy, very soft, very receptive, very giving, very gentle, feminine, motherly, calm. Like, to me, Queen of Cups really feels like that, like a hug from your grandma. Like, just really, like, just so nice. Like fresh baked chocolate chip cookies that are like gluten and dairy free if you're me. So yeah, this just feels like, you know, you're gonna be brought some extra resources. You're going to learn how to rebalance them, including them into what you have, and that's gonna bring you to this place of like this really peaceful, calm place of, gosh, and I love that both the females in here, like both of their eyes are closed, you know, and I think when we think about, you know, body language, like when we are able to kind of close our eyes and smile, it's this feeling of like calmness and safety. Like when we're not sure what's going on, we don't close our eyes, you know, we're kind of vigilant and guarded, like we don't close our eyes, but there's just this calm and ease and just, it's just lovely, just lovely. I love it. And the oracle card that I pulled for you, whew, it is warm, is the True Love card. Your wholeness and safety lie within, not from a partner, but this sovereignty actually leads to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. Let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love. So true love definitely starts with us. You know, until we truly learn how to love ourselves, we are not able to truly love another in an unconditional way. So that was card reading number 2. Card reading number 3. The first card I have for you is one of the cutest. It's the Death card. Look at this little guy, he's so cute. I just love him. So the Death card symbolizes an ending, a change, big transformation. You know, essentially the caterpillar has to die to become the butterfly, right? You know, when we make a big transformation, there's a part of us that dies so that we can be reborn, you know? And so this is just the imagery of it, right? That there's this little skeleton guy. He is death, you know, he's a little soldier of death. And then there's this bright light back here, which is the light of transformation. Like, hey, I'm ushering in the end of things so that these new things can come forward. This new celebration, this new positivity can come forward. So there's something that, like, you're ending a cycle. You're completing something, you're shifting out of something, you're letting something go. And to try to make this a little more gentle on yourself, if you feel a really strong attachment to whatever this thing is, if it's a person, especially if it's a person, I would highly, highly recommend trying to do a cord cutting meditation. You can find one on YouTube. My favorite one is from Gabrielle Bernstein. And it's just a really powerful exercise in letting go of someone else's energy and calling your energy back. So it's really kind of severing a relationship from the place of love. And that relationship can be with a person, it can be a habit, it can be a mindset, it can be even if there's like a grudge, if there's some kind of turmoil, conflict between you and another person, or you in a situation that like you don't have closure on, a cord cutting meditation can be really, really healing in kind of ending that and cutting the charge, the emotional charge that you have with that person, that situation, or that event. The next card I pulled for you is the Seven of Wands. And so I feel like what is ending, is this feeling of being really guarded and under attack. So if you have just been in it, like going through it, like things have been difficult and then it quiets down, then they get more difficult and it quiets down. If you've kind of been on this roller coaster of kind of drama, chaos, hard times, health issues, just know that this is coming to an end. That's what this Death card is, that you're moving away from this energy of having to be on guard, having to be hyper vigilant, having to protect yourself. And then the third card that I have for you is the King of Swords. And so Swords is very much about mindset, and King is a very stable energy. So I think as you are coming out of this kind of feeling of being guarded, that you're moving, as this really, sorry, I got too many cards, as this kind of hyper vigilant, scared, unsure. I mean, look at her little face. Like she doesn't know what to do. She's only got one shoe on. she's having a hard time, like if this is you, if you've been struggling, if you lost a shoe, if you're trying to fight for your life with a candy stick against unseen enemies, that is coming to an end, and you're coming into this place of sovereignty, that you're coming into this place of of understanding what your own power is, of understanding, and I feel like power is like a really emotionally charged word. So you're coming into understanding what your capabilities are, like what you are truly able to handle now versus what you thought you weren't able to handle. Like you're getting this clearer perspective on who you are. And I think that just, when we look at these two cards, like really bright colors, really popping, and these colors are very cool, and this really feels to me like the dawning of a new day, like before the sun comes up, we've got some light, but it's kind of that subdued, gentle, kind of soft gray and blue color, that you're at the beginning of really understanding like what your power, what your capability is, like what your sovereignty is, like just you're learning how to stand in who you are. I hope this is making sense because I feel like it's really, really abstract, but if we just look at this King of Swords, he's got a little smile on his face, sitting on his throne. He's got his sword up. There's not a lot of chaos going on. Things are calm. He's just, I'm just here. I'm just here being a king with my sword, just hanging out, and that this is going to be kind of a time of calm for you. So the oracle card that I picked for you is relationship. And it says, I call in the infinite power of love to take over this union in every way. May it now fully belong to the divine. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. I need not fear letting go of control. My needs are always abundantly met. So, as I mentioned earlier with the Death card, if there is some kind of conflict, turmoil, chaos, if there is some negative, like really strong negative energy that you've got with another person, I would highly recommend doing a cord cutting meditation. And if your ego kind of flares up, if that feels really triggering to you, a cord cutting meditation is not to cut someone out of your life. A cord cutting meditation can be used. I did totally personal. I did a lot of cord cutting with my mother in 2018 because I was on this journey of healing. And in hindsight, I now know that my ending, my death, was as a victim. I had lived as a victim for 38 years. I was a victim of everything. Poor me. Why is everybody so mean to me? Boo-hoo. And I did a lot of cord cutting, you know, with my mom. And I can remember one really significant meditation I did with the cord cutting where, like, as it was ending, like, I saw the truth of who she really was, you know, and that she was just this reflection of me, that she felt just as much of a victim of our relationship as I felt. And so all those negative emotions that I had towards her, I wasn't able to see her in her vulnerability. I wasn't able to see how I was a villain wounding her. I only saw that she was the villain wounding me. And I couldn't see that until I did the cord cutting. I think I did it probably like 2 weeks straight. And, you know, being able to see the truth of that, like, I'm not the victim, you know, that when I'm spitting out these words of, you know, what I feel are self-defense, they're just as wounding as the things that I feel like she, you know, is sending at me. So if you're having some relationship issues, if you're struggling in a relationship, if you want to turn a relationship around, if you want the negative, difficult, ugly parts of it to end, I highly encourage that you try a cord cutting meditation. So, hi. Ben is joining us at the end. That was card reading number 3. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the readings. I will do my best. I don't want to make any promises. I will do my best to provide a card reading for the full moon eclipse, because I feel that that's going to be really powerful. I'm really excited about that, especially because it's just, you know, we have 2 eclipse seasons in the year, summertime and the end of the year. So I feel like this is really a time of some big transformation that is possible if we are open to it. The invitation is there. It's in the mail. It's up to us if we RSVP or not. So yeah, I will be back with some full moon eclipse readings. Please let me know what you thought of the reading, if you enjoyed it, if something really resonated with you. If you have any questions about cord cutting meditations, like, feel free to, you know, email me, comment, DM me on Instagram. I love talking about that stuff. And I hope that you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Oh, you guys want to say bye?